All right. Worried about college. Okay. Hey, Bill, I love the MMP, and I've watched your Conan appearances at least 1,000,000 times. Oh, thank you. Conan's the best. I'm a 17-year-old girl, and I'll be a junior at the University of Florida. All right. Go Gators. Go Gators, she writes. I took a ton of advanced classes in high school, and now I'm 3 years ahead. What? I'm a 17-year-old girl, and I'll be a junior. She's crushing it. At first, I thought this was great. The faster I start school, the faster I finish, right? I didn't want to waste my entire youth slaving over textbooks. My issue is that I've been so focused on academics that I lost out on a lot of the experiences my friends were having in high school. I didn't go to parties, prom, homecoming, football games, or even my graduation ceremony. I'll stress that this wasn't because of my parents. I'm just insanely introverted, and none of these things seemed appealing. Well, I can relate because I didn't go to most of those things either. Now I'm basically a socially awkward weirdo, and I'm worried I'll be 50 before I even have my first kiss. Everyone says college is the best time of their life, so how do I put myself out there that I can make some friends and maybe even find a special fella? Ah, that's adorable. Thanks. And I think it's pretty mean that people are always telling you to go fuck yourself. Look at you. You got a good heart. You're motivated. I'll tell you this right now. You're a catch and a half. All right? So any guy's going to be lucky to be with you. So I was totally introverted. You just have to you got to forgive yourself and not beat yourself up that you're introverted and that you're shy. So just to start putting yourself out there, baby steps. What about Bob? Just baby steps your way out there and gradually, open up. If you don't speak up in class, just say, all right, I'm going to answer one question today. And I'm going to get over that. And, that's how I did it. Now I baby stepped my way into being a comedian. I started any opportunity I had to take a public, any class that I knew where I was going to stand up and speak in front of the class, I would do it. And once I made that decision, I started to have, I allowed myself to be not good at it. I allowed myself to be embarrassed, get dry mouth and all of that stuff. Once I was just like, okay, all this stuff's going to happen and all of this stuff is normal because of the way I'm wired. I just need to move the ball an inch in the direction I want to go every day, right? And once I did that, I grew by leaps and bounds as far as my confidence. So this is something that is a great thing that you can work on, and it's totally fixable. And then also, just start going to some Florida Gator games. I heard the SEC might have some games this year. Just go to the games. Put it out there that you want to go to the games, but you need a crew to go with. You'll fall in with some people. Now, here's the thing. Considering you've been introverted and all that, I'm a little worried that you're going to fall in, with some, I'm not worried. You know what? Here's the thing. Just go with your gut when it comes with friends, all right? If you're feeling that the people you're with are cool and they're good people and you're clicking with them, continue to hang out with them. If they're not, don't be afraid to fucking move on. It's no different than being in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend with somebody, you just got to listen to your gut. So there you go. So congratulations. You'll be fine. All right, Rambo helicopter. Bill, with your knowledge and understanding of helicopters, pretty limited, what's your take on helicopter scenes in the Rambos? Well, I always loved them, obviously. This is what I'll say about, not specifically Rambo, I'll just say in general in movies, is when somebody's getting chased and then they run over and just start up a helicopter like it's a fucking car and then they just drive away. That's the fucking most hilarious thing, especially if it's like a turbine engine, like a jet engine. There's a whole startup procedure that I've watched. You should check it out. Look up A-Star 350 startup procedure. And there's a thing when you go to start it up where the engine is heating up and it gets up to a certain temperature, like 700 degrees, and then you have to back it down or something like that, roll down the throttle, for a few seconds before rolling it back up, or you could actually burn down the fucking helicopter. You could actually have a fire because of what's going on in the background. So whenever I watch one of these movies and somebody gets in, even if you fly what I fly, there's a whole startup procedure, especially if the fucking engine is like ice cold, and you got to let the belts roll up. You got to let you roll up the power. They got a tension. The clutch light has to come out. There's a whole startup procedure. I mean, you can fucking do it. I guess you could just do it. It's not good for the engine or anything else, and I would be nervous about that. But I guess, if my option was getting eaten by fucking zombies, but even then, it takes a little bit for it to roll up to fucking speed. That's my only issue about it. And then also, whenever they shoot out the fucking tail rotor and then the person just spins and spins and spins and spins and spins, any helicopter pilot, unless they were brand new, the second you start spinning is you roll down to the detent is what they call it. So then it's basically like putting it in neutral. So now what's keeping the main rotor turning is the ship falling rather than the torque of the engine. So whatever, you've rolled down to neutral. So neither one of those, the tail rotor not working now and the main rotor still spinning, you're not dealing with the engine turning that anymore. So there's no torque wanting to turn the ship in the opposite direction that the main rotor's turning. Jesus Christ. So yeah, you would roll down, and then with your pedals, what you had left from they shot it out. So then you don't have that. Maybe you would. I don't know. I've never had my tail rotor shot out. So anyway, it's just, you know what? I talked long enough that you ended up learning what little I know about fucking helicopters. I know more than the average person, but I don't know shit. And that is a great way to go in life. Just know you don't know shit, because then you'll be open to learn new shit. By the way, Mrs. Jones was written by a guy named, or was performed, I should say, by Billy Paul. And I actually went down a rabbit hole listening to that guy, and I learned about some other singers that I had never heard of. Like if you Google Billy Paul, he talks about the singers that he was influenced by. And what's really cool is it's really a lot of female singers, because he feels that they did more with their voices, which I thought was really interesting. And then he brought up this guy. Where the hell is he? Let's see here. Nina Simone, Johnny Mathis, they all had a style, silkiness. And then there's a guy, Jesse Belvin. He said, one of my favorites. They used to call him Mr. Easy, Jesse Belvin. And this guy helped write Earth Angel. And unfortunately, he did a show in Arkansas. He died when he was 27. Got into a head-on collision in a car. And back then, those cars were just, the engine just went right into your fucking chest. Had a head-on collision and died, unfortunately, at 27. Super talented kid. He did a mixed-race show. Him and another, I think, African-American act, and these old racist white dudes showed up, yelled a bunch of shit at the stage, which was the N-word and a bunch of other ugly shit, and then were kept pleading with the white kids to get up and leave. And there's a theory that he had his tires slashed, and that's what caused the accident. And if that's fucking true, man, what kind of a fucking human being could do that to somebody, and feel no guilt about it? And at the end of their life, if you have any sort of belief in any sort of a high power, not think that you're going fucking directly to hell for that one. Fucking brutal. So, I don't know. I got to tell you, I wish I was better at writing scripts, because to me, that's like, there's a fucking movie and a half there. Like, what happened? Like, no investigation, just, I don't know. How the fuck did they figure out all these years later, or did people know back then that it was possibly the tires were slashed? I don't know. There's been something to possibly look up. Jesse Belvin, Jessebelvin. All right, that's the podcast, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. It's so great that sports are back, and I'm hearing this news that they're able to get test results quicker. I think that that's going to be our way out of it. It's going to be testing, and eventually, the quicker you can test people and the more inexpensive it is, the quicker you'll be able to figure out who has it, who doesn't, in your quarantine. And I think we're going to get out of this stuff. All right? And if that, don't yell at people who aren't wearing fucking masks. I mean, I understand getting them out of stores. I get that at this point, and I understand why people are yelling, because financially everybody's fucking hurting at this point. But screaming at them is not gonna help. I mean, look at me. I tried to fucking make fun of them, and I never got more negative fucking shit in my life. I will say to people who don't think you should be wearing a mask to maybe watch some international sports, and you'll see that everybody is wearing masks. And so you don't think that it's a conspiracy against your guy, which I understand why you would think that, because he has been under attack the entire fucking time, as all presidents have been since Bill Clinton. You're just under attack the entire time you're trying to run the country, which is not fucking helping us out. All right? But anyways, that's it. That's the fucking podcast. Thank you for listening. Go fuck yourselves, and I'll check in on ya on Thursday. See you.